Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about all of these luxury price increases that we've had recently, and then at the end I'm going to answer some of your questions and we'll just have a little bit of a chit chat at the end. So as you know, it's like luxury price increase mania at the moment. It's like the Dutch tulip mania, but for luxury goods, and everyone has like black cards. Okay, it's absolutely crazy at the moment. It's a bonanza. There's so many increases. For those of you who don't like those increase videos, I'm sorry, I have to post them because people are interested. I find it like really interesting as well. So obviously you probably watched my Chanel price increase video. If you haven't, it's in my channel pages. Just click on my channel name, you can go see it there. So obviously Chanel are having an increase. Now since that video up until now, there have been lots of rumors and developments. Normally I will always just say it's a rumor up until the website changes, because the website is the best indicator. Like if they update the website, then it's official. So allegedly the increase will happen on the 3rd of March, allegedly. Some other people are saying, oh, I was told the 5th of March. The reason why I feel like this increase is happening is because lots of people in groups who are actually in Europe have been told by European SAs. A lot of the times I've noticed with increases, for example, a good example is the Cartier increase that was supposed to have happened in January. That didn't happen. It was an influencer, I think, in the US who was saying that her SA told her it was going to happen. You know, me, I'm a Cartier girl through and through. I didn't hear anything about Cartier, and also like nothing was mentioned in terms of what the Swiss franc pricing for Cartier would be like. And obviously, no, Cartier's, you know, was born in Paris originally, but broadly speaking, you know, it's run from Switzerland. So I was like, you know, if Cartier are going to increase prices, they will absolutely increase prices in Swiss francs because that's home turf. But I didn't hear anything about that. So I decided not to post about it because there just wasn't enough info. With Chanel's increases, there are too many people in too many groups sharing information from different parts of the world. That's when you need to be concerned. If someone is in Paris and has an essay and their essay in Paris is saying it's happening, someone's in Miami, someone's in Melbourne, Australia, different parts of the world, people's essays are saying the same thing. Something else I've noticed, and it's important, is essays don't know that much. And no disrespect to some essays do, other essays don't. So some essays, some of you have told me, well, how come my essay said nothing's happening? I don't know, you know. I've been reading a lot of groups. Many people's essays are saying it's happening. So maybe your essay wasn't told by the store manager, maybe your essay doesn't have all the details, or maybe the other essays are wrong, and maybe your essay's right. We don't know. So I think a better way of doing it, let's just wait until the 3rd, 4th of March, and let's see. Let's wait and see what happens on the 3rd of March. It could also be the 5th of March. I think the 3rd of March is obviously, well, today's Tuesday, so 1st of March, and the 3rd of March is Thursday. So if it happens, I will post a bonus video, because I do know euro prices for a lot of products. I know US dollar prices for a lot of products as well. So I will definitely post a bonus video, and I'm pretty sure that I actually have a price list in all of the major currencies on my blog. At any rate, if you want to go read about the Chanel price increase, you can go read about it on my blog. It's linked below, so you can go check it out. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. So in today's video, we're just going to talk broadly speaking about all of the increases together. As you know, Big H had an increase in January. They also had another increase in February. That was for like fine jewelry and things like that. Chanel, by the way, are also increasing fine jewelry. We never really talk about Chanel's fine jewelry increases, but they are allegedly. Remember, it's still a rumor until the website's updated. And also, of course, Louis Vuitton had a massive increase, and that was a tough one. A lot of people in the Louis Vuitton community were really upset about that one, specifically. Gucci also recently had an increase, and I think that they're also doing some worldwide increases, because I was talking to one of you, and you just told me as well that they had another increase. So there are a bunch of increases happening at the moment, and you know, what does this mean? So what do I think this means, and what are the major themes from all of these increases? So this is what I think the major themes of all of the increases are. First of all, I think that these brands have access to financial data that maybe the average person doesn't have. And it's showing that people really do have a lot of money and a lot of wealth at the moment. And if you think about it, it actually makes sense. A lot of people were just stuck at home in the lockdown. And yes, the lockdown was financially tough for a lot of people, but there are other people who were not really affected by the lockdowns. Lots of people have a lot of investments, of course, savings, retirements, bonds, pensions, dividends on all of this, trust funds, and lots of people were just, just carried on shopping. A lot of you in the Western world did get stimulus payments from your respective governments. We don't have that here, but I did hear about that, particularly in the US. I think also in the UK, there was a payment that was made to citizens. So in the Western world, there were all kinds of benefits that were being given out for the C-19 situation, which is 2 years old now. And I think what that did is, a lot of people were given this influx of extra cash, and people decided to go and spend it. Some people did decide to obviously save the money. Other people just said, okay, cool, I'm just going to go to Louis Vuitton and I'm going to go buy things. So brands were like, okay, wow, people really have this massive cushion. Another thing to note is these increases are happening a lot because people can't travel right now. Edwin and I were talking about places that we want to travel, but even within Africa, places in Africa that we are very curious about. Madagascar is somewhere that we want to go to. It's very close to Tanzania. It is not far at all to go from Dar es Salaam to Antananarivo in Madagascar. People can't really travel at the moment, and Madagascar is somewhere that we've wanted to go to for the past 3 years. We just hadn't been organized, and hopefully this year we'll be able to go at some point. And the whole fact that people haven't really been able to travel a lot, I would say now is when people are traveling. The past 6 months is when travels started picking up. And even when I was in Paris in December, January, it was, I felt like there were lots of tourists there, and a lot of the people that worked in the hotels were like, no, it's quiet. Taxi drivers were like, no, it's quiet. There's no one here. It's super, super, super quiet. So the fact that people can't travel the way they used to means that it's just not how it was before. People, love to, splash out and thugged out, iced out holidays to the Maldives, and, there are people who spend, $30,000, $40,000 going on a, splashy holiday, to a really, really nice destination, and now they can't, use that for whatever reason, or maybe they're feeling a little bit nervous to go traveling, so they're like, okay, you know what, instead of going traveling like that, I'm just going to spend it on luxury brands instead. I do think that we will see I feel like we'll see more people going back to traveling, but I don't feel like people feel as confident about traveling. Honestly, I am inoculated against C-19, so I felt completely fine going to France because I was inoculated. Can't say the V word on YouTube, okay? But I was completely fine, and I felt very comfortable and happy to go, and came back, and I was tested, to come back, and I was fine. I didn't get C-19 or anything like that. So I feel like because of the fact that people haven't been able to travel, these price increases are just going to continue happening until people start traveling, to be honest with you, until people start traveling again. So a lot of you were saying to me okay, well, you're noticing at your local boutiques, oh, but the queues are not like the way they were before. It doesn't seem like there are that many people. To be honest, I don't feel like that's a scientific way of measuring whether people are spending or not. To be honest, it's not a scientific way. It's not an anecdotal way, because it's based on your interpretation of what a massive queue looks like. It's based on the time of day that you went, to your local boutique, and it's also based on just so many other variables. I think a good way of judging this, and the best way, is only through the numbers. The numbers always tell you the story. BK's released her numbers, honey. Okay, she's running around. Okay, she's making things happen. Okay, LVMH released banner numbers for the previous year. Okay, for 2021, they're doing so well. Chanel will release her numbers at some point, probably June or July. Of course, I'll cover it when they do. So these brands are doing phenomenally well. Okay, so the question here is are the price increases working? Yes or no? I mean, yes, they are working. They're not really making a material dent at all. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Those of us who watch these videos, we are 1% of the people that shop luxury. I know so many people who would be mortified, okay, if I said their real names and I said what luxury things that they like to buy. Many people are very private, very discreet about their luxury shopping hobbies and things like that. And a lot of those people are clients, and they don't even know that a price increase is happening. Not because they don't care about a Louis Vuitton price increase, but because they maybe don't have social media, they don't have Instagram, they don't have Pinterest or YouTube or Facebook, and they're busy doing their own thing. It's really important to remember that. So just because us, like you guys watching, me filming this video, we're like, oh my God, there's a price increase, there's a price increase. Like honestly, very few people are like following the way we follow. So I think that's something to note, because when you look at all the price increase videos, you're like, oh my God, people are going to stop shopping. People are not going to stop shopping because people are going to do whatever they want to do. And I know it sounds really harsh the way I've said it, but honestly, people are not going to stop shopping at these brands because people love these brands. People love how these brands make them feel. People love the products that these brands make. People love these brands, and they are not going to stop shopping at these brands. So I think it's just really important to take note of that as well. Another major theme I've noticed about these massive price increases that have been happening constantly and recently is the fact that these increases don't even so much seem to be about like targeting people who are really wealthy anymore. Like honestly, it's not even really about that. Remember how in the beginning we always used to say they want people who like don't look at a price tag and stuff. You know, to be honest with you, like even people who are absolutely minted, completely loaded, and have lots of money, people look at price tags. That's not completely true. There's truth to that, but it's also a bit of a cliche, and I think it's important for us not to get bogged down in cliches. What I realized with these incessant increases is that these brands are actually kind of targeting people who have a high disposable income. Sometimes there are differences between people who maybe you're watching this and you have an inheritance and you've inherited money and you have a trust fund and you can live off a specific sum of money per year, or you live off your investments, you live off your properties, your dividends, or whatever, whichever way that you like have income for luxury. There are people who also like earn a lot of money and have high salaries, and I feel like we don't really talk about that, because I do think that before it was really just about targeting people who are very rich from any type of, you know, mechanism, like maybe they inherited money or they've had money for a really long period of time. I think something that we're not mentioning is the people who have really high disposable income. There are a lot of those people, like lots of people who made a lot of money. I can't say this word, but you know what I'm saying, digital currencies. It starts with the letter C. If you say it on YouTube, you get suppressed, because Google, honey, she does not like people saying that word. But digital currencies, you know what I'm talking about. There are a lot of people that made a ton of money in that. There are a lot of people who make money trading, investing, and all of this, small business. There are lots of people who have very high incomes. There are a lot of you who work in healthcare. I've spoken to a lot of you guys who work in healthcare. You're doing very well for yourselves. Big H wants you. Big H doesn't necessarily, Big H, Big C, honey, she doesn't necessarily want people who are like, you know, old money. And I don't like that term anymore, because I feel like it's kind of dated, and I don't feel like it represents wealth in luxury on a global scale. Because I always say this, luxury is global now. Luxury is in Bangkok, Thailand. It's in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. It's in Shanghai, you know, in the People's Republic of China. Like, luxury is not just in Belgravia like it used to be. It's not just in, you know, the 8e arrondissement like it used to be in Paris. And I feel like income now, I think income is playing a much bigger role in the price increases. I want to prove my point here. So I was watching a documentary, just came up on my feed the other day, because I'm really interested in properties. Just generally speaking, properties are interesting to me, but I like watching property documentaries like across the world. So this documentary came up about how people in Florida are being priced out of their properties, like flats. I think in the US, flats are called condominiums or something, but I will call them flats because that's the terminology I'm familiar with. So people are being priced out of flats and homes. It's just really, really expensive because they're like people from New York, because of C-19, decided to move to Florida because of better weather and working from home and all of this. So rents have been going up in certain parts of Florida. If you're from Florida, you probably know this stuff. So I was just watching it, just came up randomly. I went on my honeymoon to Miami and we went to the Bahamas as well. So I'm always going to be interested in what goes on in Miami because I had such a great honeymoon there with my husband. Now, in this documentary, okay, they were talking about how also they mentioned how people are making so much money. Like there are people who are earning a ton of money, and for them paying like $10,000 to live in a flat in Miami that's really, really nice, like that's nothing. Or to live in like a really, really nice property and spending like $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 a month, like it's nothing to them. And this is why I was saying income is also playing a massive role. That's why I was always telling you guys those how I afford luxury videos are so irritating, because they are so tone deaf and disrespectful to the fact that income is the key here to constantly shopping luxury and for the price increases not to affect people. So if people, unfortunately, and by the way, people being priced out of their homes is terrible in any part of the world. But the fact is, some people are being priced out of some of those flats in Florida and some of those homes, but other people are moving in, other people are paying those rents, other people are not bothered because they earn so much money, whether that is from their job, a corporate job, whether that's from their business, whether that's from like interest from all of their investments like compounded together. The luxury houses have access to this like macroeconomic data. They have access to all of this economic data that has nothing to do with Birkins, has nothing to do with craftsmanship, has nothing to do with double C's or branding. It's pure economics and finance. The bottom line is there are a lot more people who can afford to shop luxury because they have more money, and that is the bottom line, and that is on a general scale worldwide. I'm so blessed that most of you who watch my channel, you're all from different parts of the world, and a lot of you are from parts of the world where it's not even so much necessarily that wages are increasing, because I would say broadly speaking wages probably aren't increasing globally, but the people who are earning a lot on the top, they're earning so much and amassing so much wealth, and a lot of you are those people, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is a blessing. But I think that's why we're not really seeing the price increases hurting people. People are not being hurt by the price increases because so many people can afford them. And I think that's like the taboo thing to say in the luxury community right now on luxury YouTube. It's probably quite taboo to say most of you can afford these price increases. Whether you do afford, like want to pay them or not, that's up to you. But most of you do have the income to pay the new prices for the Chanel 19, to pay the new prices for the Mania. That we'll see, if it happens. So the question here is like, seeing that, incomes are, high and people have lots of money and people are obviously paying for these increases, what's going to make you stop paying them? The only way that I think the increases are going to stop is if people actually just make an effort to just say, do you know what, I'm not going to be shopping brand new in the boutique anymore, and I'm not going to be buying new styles. That's always a sign, basically, that the increases basically won't work. But the reason why I feel like that's not working is because honestly, like every now and then I do check out like the resale markets just to see what's selling, what's not selling. Like particularly in Chanel's case, like Chanel's increases have worked. Like, no disrespect, if you're a reseller, Chanel has decided she's done with you, honey. Okay, she's tired, okay? And Chanel's changes have worked. I mean, they're not really that many like classics anymore. They're like brand new, that are being resold for premiums. Even, I think I was even saying it in the group today, but even like the 22S Caramel, there hasn't really been that much like attention and frenzy on the resale market because people have put their names down at the boutique and they can just go and get it at the boutique. So why would they go at resale and pay ridiculous premiums when Chanel says, hey, just put your name down, and as long as you have an SA and you're fast, you're going to get the bag that you want. You're going to get the bag of your dreams. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like the situation right now is like, you guys as the consumers have the power. If you don't want to deal with these increases, you just don't buy. But the dirty secret, the kind of dirty truth is, a lot of you are very, very, very affluent. And a lot of you are exactly the clients, okay, that big C, big H, big LV, honey, big Gucci, Big deal. Big deal actually sounds pretty good. Big deal one. You're actually, all you guys are, you know how like in those videos we say how they want people that don't look at price tags. They want people that, you know, can afford the products. Yes, I do think that's true, but I do also think that they want people like you guys, people who have a lot of disposable income. You know, you could be spending that disposable income going to like really expensive restaurants, staying at really fancy hotels. Instead, you know, you're not traveling, you're buying, you know, things from them. They want you as well. They want people who do earn a lot. And I would actually say that in a way, that's probably even more interesting for these brands because they're evolving with modern times. I mean, let's be clear, and, you know, no disrespect, like, of course, those types of, the sort of Western idea of what old money is, of course, those types of clients, you know, do exist. But like I said, I feel like that's just like a dated, it's like a Fabergé egg. I feel like it's a very dated way of looking at the types of people that purchase from these clients, from these brands today. I mean, like, Asia is the future of luxury. You know, a sort of westernized ideal of old money would not be relevant in Asian culture for obvious historical reasons. And the same thing in Africa. If they were to come here, if Big H was to come here or Big C, they couldn't say we're going to have old money African clients, because the sort of westernized view of what old money is, that makes no sense in an African point of view. If you want to know who the African luxury clients are, maybe I'll do a video about it and I'll tell you, but it's not the old money way. I feel like the way to understand the luxury price increases is to understand what you are willing to buy and what you're not willing to buy. So while these increases, you know, are going to continue being really, really, really like important, and while they always get everyone worked up, people forget. That's another theme. The way people forget in groups, like once Louis Vuitton release a new Capucine or release new Alma BB colors, we all just run over like SpongeBob. Okay, we just run over there like, oh my God, what's this? The moment Chanel releases new seasonal pieces, we just run over there. When Big H releases new colors, we just run over there. People, broadly speaking, don't really care. There's some of you who've told me you're done with Big C, you're done with Big H, you're done with Big Gucci. I completely understand and I totally respect your decision. I think people should just buy what they want to buy, but the luxury price increases are just attracting more people who are richer and richer and richer, and then that's kind of what's happening. So some of you have told me, okay, you know what, I'm done, I'm no longer shopping at this brand, and I'm no longer be shopping there, and they're gonna realize. I remember seeing this in a group. Someone said like Louis Vuitton are gonna realize what they did wrong. They're gonna lose out on so much money. They're gonna lose out on so many clients. And no disrespect to this person, but they're kind of living in a bubble. Okay, and this was in a group, and people were like, "Where are you from?" And these were people who lived in a certain part of the Western world. And I'm sitting here in Tanzania, like, sweetheart, do you know like how many people who don't live in America, don't live in Canada, don't live in Europe, who can afford to buy this stuff and would happily pay those prices? There's so many people. So the people who drop out because of the luxury price increase battles, there's someone who's just going to come and fill their place, and they're going to be new clients who are shopping there. Do I think that we're in a bubble? I think we are kind of in a luxury price increase bubble for sure. I think the brands just want to see when it can burst. Chanel is kind of leading the charge. Chanel's kind of like Julius Caesar in battle, honey, okay? And Chanel has crossed the Rubicon, honey. Like, she has crossed the Rubicon. She wants to increase those prices. She's not turning back. Chanel is not going back. If they increase the prices the way we think on the 3rd or 5th of March, by the way, that increase might not happen. If that increase doesn't happen, I won't do a video. If the increase happens, I'll do a bonus video. If Chanel do actually like increase on the 3rd and 5th of March, that says to me that Chanel has crossed the Rubicon, and they will continue to increase prices until people stop buying. That's really the bottom line, okay? Not only do price increases create like incredible and extreme exclusivity, and I feel like we're heading into this world of extreme exclusivity, like exclusivity that we've never seen before, exclusivity of a sort of gilded age, like, you know, the great Gatsby. That's the type of exclusivity we're heading into. If they get away with this increase, which I suspect that they will, that says to me that there is phenomenal wealth in the world that can sustain a massive business like Big C. And that also tells me the power of Chanel's brand, not just Chanel, but Louis Vuitton's brand and Big H's brand as well. Like Chanel's brand at this point is more powerful than anything currently going on in the luxury industry at the moment, because Chanel are existing off their brand. Not even Coco Chanel, because I feel like they've de-emphasized her a lot at the house, but really just the power of the Chanel brand and what Chanel means. So I'll be very curious to know what you guys think of these luxury price increase themes, and what are your thoughts on luxury price increases moving forward. I think sometimes we talk down on ourselves, like those of us on like in social media. Don't talk down on yourself. Don't say you're not the person that Chanel's trying to target. If you're watching this video, you shop luxury, you're still going to shop through those price increases. Chanel wants your business. Chanel does not want the business of people who don't want to buy their products and feel like their products are overpriced. If you think Chanel's products are overpriced and you're not going to pay them, Chanel's not priced. If you are more than happy to go ahead and pay the new prices and you can afford to do it and you have the income to support it, Chanel wants your business. That's kind of how I read it. And I think that we're just entering a new world right now. It's like a new age, and I think these increases are going to continue happening. Some of you are asking about YSL. I don't really follow YSL, so I wouldn't be able to tell you like previous prices and new prices, but of course if you know of new prices, you'll let me know. But these increases are happening because people can afford to pay them, and because people kind of, in a way, the increases even kind of help to maintain the current VIPs that they have. So each brand, Big H, Big C, Big LV, Big Gucci, Big Dior, every single one of those brands has VIPs. When the VIPs hear about increases, they hear about people saying, oh, I'm done, I'm leaving, I'm done, I'm leaving. That's like, wow, okay, cool. It's even more exclusive now because more people are leaving, and only the very few who can afford to constantly shop here will stay here. So don't be mad at me. Don't be angry now, okay? I just wanted to share those themes. I think for me, as always, you know, I just like what I like. If I don't like something, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not one to like announce that I don't that I don't buy from things anymore. I'm leaving something. A lot of people have been doing that. Like, I'm done with Chanel. I'm done with Chanel. I'm done with that. Chanel's like, girl, guess what? I don't care. Okay? Chanel literally doesn't care. So I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions. So I want to answer them now. So thank you for those who answered the sticker. Coco Kitty CC says, oh yeah, because the question was like, ask me anything. Her question was, what are your thoughts on how Chanel bags are used in Korea? Yeah, the situation in Korea is crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, and that's a great example of how Chanel completely has mismanaged that situation from Europe, in my opinion. Like, they cannot meet the demand in South Korea, so they need to change everything of what is going on there, because people are queuing, people are desperately trying to get bags, and it's just not working out. And I think South Korea was like a great example of Chanel kind of getting this inspiration to start this like quota system. Okay, Chanel need to do something because it's pretty crazy out there. The demand is very high, and they can't meet the demand there. One of the questions from Renan said, thoughts on Bottega Veneta's new creative director who debuted on Milan Fashion Week? Okay, great question. So I had a look at the collection. I liked it. I thought it looked really, really good. I thought it was very wearable. I actually really like Bottega's ready to wear. So from a clothing point of view, I liked it. I think, you know, I saw purple, I saw green. I like the shoes as well. I like the accessories. I kind of like this idea of going for a designer who's a bit under the radar. Obviously, I think the new designer is called Mathieu Blasi, and he worked with Daniel Lee. You know, Daniel Lee, you know, was, you know, famous. He had a lot of attention and stuff. Obviously, he's not at the brand anymore, and now it's Mathieu Blasi's turn. I think it's cool to have someone who was like, he was basically like the consigliere, if you will, and now he's like the top dog there. I think it's cool that they've chosen someone who's under the radar and quite private. I like that. I like what I saw. I liked it. I thought it was very interesting, I'm here for their ready to wear. I actually think that their bags are very heavy. When I was in Paris and I held a cassette bag, I felt like I was holding a rock, honey. Okay, they're very, very nice and the leather's beautiful, but they are heavy. But yeah, I'm very interested and I liked what I saw at that catwalk show. CPA Lux Lover says, thoughts on luxury footwear? Ooh, yes, great question. I love Zanottis. I know everyone loves Louis Vuittons, but I love Zanottis. Fun fact, Giuseppe Zanotti's boutique is actually next door to Goya in Paris on the Rue Saint-Honoré. But yeah, I love Zanotti's. I think Zanotti makes like the best looking footwear, but of course you also have Sergio Rossi. I know lots of people say Amina Muaddi's shoes aren't great quality. I still like her shoes. I think it's great that like a young woman has created a really successful luxury like footwear brand, so I'll definitely be interested in supporting and checking out her shoes as well. But I'm definitely a Zanotti girl. Like I'm a Giuseppe Zanotti girl, like through and through. I love that brand and I love those shoes. And Bloom Media says, thank you for sharing cultural information in your videos. The world needs to be educated. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. I hope sometimes like I can share those cultural bits and pieces every now and then. I think early on in the video I mentioned to you guys like how like so, you know, sometimes I would get a little bit frustrated when people would say in comments like luxury brands only want old money clients, or you know, it's just not true. And for example, I think when you say that, you kind of culturally disregard other cultures and countries and places that would love to purchase Louis Vuitton and Hermes, but don't, to be honest, don't really care about, you know, that Louis Vuitton was running around, you know, in 1831, you know, leaving home, or don't really care about, you know, Thierry Hermes running around making saddles. Like, not everyone cares about that stuff, and I think it's really important to kind of reference like cultural tidbits and stuff to kind of highlight. So just to kind of expand on this point, like the whole concept of like old money does not exist in Africa, okay? But you know what does exist? Like there are a lot of like in different African countries, there are a lot of people who are the descendants of chieftains and chiefs, and there are a lot of princes and princesses who are African, and literally like that person is a prince or a princess. If you saw them walking around in London, you would know that. Do you know what I mean? There's things like that here, and that maybe would be seen as an old money type of person, but we don't have those kind of westernized views of money and class. And that's why I was saying like it's so important to look at luxury through a global lens. Don't just look at it through your lens of where you are in whichever part of the world. I feel like for me it's a little bit different because I can understand everyone's point of view. And then just generally speaking, I do like to mention things about Tanzania every now and then, because every now and then someone does leave like a random comment that's a bit ignorant, and sometimes I don't feel like people mean to be hurtful. So that's why, for example, when I showed you guys the pool, I had to explain the privacy walls, and a lot of you really liked the privacy walls, and you liked that it was like a cultural thing about maintaining modesty. I mean, for example, now those privacy walls, because we have a lot of people who are just doing some finishing touches outside of the property at the moment, and yeah, they're very, very helpful. And it, you know, I feel like some of you may have thought, whoa, Tanzania is like really segregated by gender. No, not really. But I would say that Tanzania is still a very traditional, conservative African country. Men and women do integrate, but there are social constructs and social rules that dictate behavior, you know, and I think that it is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. Okay, the next point is from Defancy420. Love your YouTube channel, Facebook group. Keep up the good work. I'll be supporting. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to hear like good positive feedback from you guys. Always love hearing from you, and like she mentioned, the Facebook group. So please, please, please join the Facebook group. It is join the face. I think I call it the, what did I call it? Did I call it a Facebook group? Join the Facebook group. It is linked below. You will not regret joining it. It is so much fun. I feel like there are a lot of you who follow me on Instagram who aren't joining the group for whatever reason. I don't know why, but go join. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, make a Facebook account today and go join the group. It is ridiculous amounts of fun. I feel like I'm in the group a lot. I know some of you think I'm in the group all the time. Like you might think I'm a vampire, like I never sleep. I do actually sleep. I am married. And I do have a job and a team, and I do actually have to do a lot of work as well, but I am in the group a lot. I'm going to be working on my Instagram as well, hopefully getting that to a great place as well, so I'd love to see you guys on my Instagram and my TikTok. I'm determined to get better at TikTok as well, so please make sure that you go follow me there. I love to see you guys on my socials, so please consider supporting. Everything is linked below. Just before I go, I wanted to talk about something I thought was really interesting. So around about this time last year is when I started taking the channel seriously. So it's like my 1 year of taking the channel seriously, although I had been doing the channel now for a few years. But I feel like before this time last year, I just wasn't serious. I would do videos, I would go away for like weeks and weeks and weeks and not film. But I think around about this time is when I started to take it seriously in March. So I thought it could be fun just to, first of all, thanks everyone for supporting, but also just like random things I've learned about having a luxury YouTube channel. Because I was speaking to a few of you, and a few of you were telling me like, oh, should I start a channel? And I'm like, start a channel, I'll come and support you. I've had quite a busy few days, but I have some downtime now, so I'll be responding to your comments, and if you have a channel, you let me know, I'll go support your channel. But I was thinking about like, you know, just like what it's been like having this channel. This channel's been like so much fun, and all of you are like, pretty much all of you are very like supportive and stuff. But I feel like luxury YouTube has changed a lot in a year. I feel like a lot of people have just kind of stopped posting and stopped filming. One of the biggest challenges I think of having a channel is kind of understanding what kind of channel that you want yours to be. I feel like I just knew that I wanted to show my things every now and then, but I also like talking about business and commentary and things like that. I wanted to fuse those together. I can show you the things that I've purchased, and then I can also talk about the sort of business side of these brands, which I find really interesting. So when I was talking to one of you, you were telling me like, you know, you want to start a channel, but you don't want to show your face on camera. I thought this was really interesting. I watch a lot of anonymous luxury channels, and they're very good. I don't feel like you need to show your channel. I don't feel like, what's wrong with my head today? It's so hot. I don't feel like you need to show your face on camera, but I think if you want it to be your career, like if you want to, let's say you want to transition and do it full time, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a full-time luxury influencer who's paid. There's nothing wrong with that. If you decide that you want to do it, then you probably would need to eventually make a decision to show your face if you were going to say, let me do this full time. But definitely you could do an anonymous channel. I feel like an anonymous channel is actually better because you can be a little bit more unfiltered. Like I do Instagram lives now, I do Facebook lives, but I delete all of them. Like I delete all of my Instagram lives because sometimes I get a bit too wild. I say crazy things and I'm, oh God, I need to go delete that. You know, because I don't want anyone recording that and sending that to a brand or something, you know? So I think also like being anonymous is actually kind of cool because you get to be a little bit more unfiltered and you can share your thoughts a little bit more versus say having your face out there and you might be a bit nervous. And it's normal to be like, oh, I'm worried about critiquing a brand because you don't want to ruin a relationship. What if a brand one day wants to sponsor you and you've like said nasty, terrible things about them and then your face is there? Whereas if you're anonymous, you can be a little bit more unfiltered. Something else I was thinking about after speaking to a bunch of you again about starting a channel is like the amount of like trolling and hate that people get. I know there's some channels that like read out their hate comments. I'm not going to do that. It is funny though. It is funny like watching when people read out hate comments and stuff and how they respond. But what I would say is like honestly like 90% of all of the comments that I get are always positive and friendly and kind. And even if you don't agree with me, it's said in your Michael Jackson voice, it's said with peace and love in your Michael Jackson voice, so it's not a problem. And then I would say like 10% of the comments are like nasty and rude. I feel like this time last year, I maybe took like I took people's like really nasty comments to heart and I would like respond to every single nasty comment. But now if you leave a nasty comment, like I'm just not engaging with you. So now trolls know when you're not engaging with them anymore because you'll just respond and be like, thank you for your time or thanks. Or sometimes I respond with an emoji like smiling if you leave me like a nasty comment. So now people write passive aggressive comments now. Now they're like I'm getting a lot more passive aggressive comments. So troll comments that are passive aggressive and that are like a thinly veiled attack, but meant to seem nice, but meant to like embarrass or humiliate me. I've been noticing I've been getting a lot more of that. Those of you who are leaving those comments, like I don't think you know, but you're not affecting me the way you think you are. I'm just sharing this because I know there's some of you who do want to start a page, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, you know. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I think I've got 3,690 something subscribers at the moment, but I did start with nothing, so I wanted to just kind of add some context. So while I'm a very small channel, and I'm very grateful for each and every one of you, I would just like take a note of that, because I do feel like that can take a toll on some people after a while. Generally speaking, if I don't like a luxury YouTuber's video, I don't leave a critical comment or a negative comment on that video. There are like very few exceptions, and that's only if I feel like it's really upset me. But generally speaking, 99% of the comments I leave on other people's pages are positive comments to that particular creator, because I know how it feels when you like receive a troll or hateful comment. And like I said, 90% of your comments are all friendly, nice, and they're so nice and so kind. I'm so grateful for that. But every now and then you get those like troll comments. And like I said, trolls now are clever. If you don't like feed the troll with like a nasty response, they now then make like passive aggressive troll comments. So I think you have to get ready to deal with that as well. And I think you have to get ready for like a lot of judgment. It's really strange. I was talking to one of you on Facebook, and I was saying, you know, it's funny, like the luxury community is actually very judgmental. And I thought I was coming here to not be judged, but I've actually noticed that there's like a lot of judgment. So I'm gonna also try my best to be a little bit more warm and a bit kinder, because I feel like I can clap back a lot. So I need to kind of chill out on that. So I have chilled out on clapping back at people, because I used to clap back a lot. Like if you came and wrote something crazy on my page, I'd clap back at you. I'm trying not to do that as much, but those are just some things that you need to watch out for. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying having this channel. I really love what's happening with my Facebook group, and I love what's going on with Instagram as well, and my blog, which like I said, it's linked below. You can read my blog articles and stuff. So I hope that you guys will stick around. I have so many great videos coming up, lots of dragging videos that are pending. There's a big H dragging video I'm working on. I've got a big H colors video. I've got great videos coming about Chanel and Hermes. I've got a really cool video about like new arrivals, like new things that you can go buy from like Gucci and Alaya, Moschino. So I hope that you'll stick around for all of my videos. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I would love to answer any and all of your questions that you may have. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.